Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. Um, there was a lot of talk. There are a couple articles here talking about Verizon. Um, Verizon kills Google Pixel deal. Doesn't plan to sell Pixel 4a or Pixel 5. And then it says here update. Verizon denies. So this article here, and I mean, obviously, it's already getting spoiled on that title because it says, speaking to a source familiar with the company's plans, but who was not authorized to speak on Verizon's behalf. The carrier has allegedly put on indefinite hold any plans to sell new Google Pixel smartphones. So, yeah, pretty much it was saying Verizon is going to stop selling any future Pixel phones. Which I guess when I first read that, I was like, okay, that's not surprising. And as someone who does not, and like, part of my French, I don't give a fuck about carriers. I really don't. Like, you can sell whatever you want. I buy my stuff carrier unlocked anyway, right? So I don't care if Verizon sells it or not. It's not a big deal to me. I know David in this article was kind of going over how a carrier who sells your phone is like the lifeblood. It helps your marketing, and it does. It's whatever. It gives you exposure, right? Because Verizon is selling your phone, or AT&T is carrying your or selling your phone. But this article was talking about how, yeah, this is gonna Google doesn't sell their phones well anyway, and so that's why they're going to drop them. But now Verizon's denying that, and they say they're actually. I think there is a little, yeah. Verizon says, quote, there is no truth to this report that it will stop selling Google's Pixel phones. Quote, Verizon continues to work with Google and looks forward to the new portfolio of devices. So if you're a Verizon carrier and you buy your phones directly from Verizon, then there you go. I mean, you want to get a new Pixel 4a or a new Pixel 5, then you might be able to with Verizon. And I'm sure the only people who really care, I don't I don't know many people that that come up to me and they're excited to say, I can't wait to go to the Verizon store and buy the new Pixel. Because that isn't a thing unless you're more of a tech enthusiast, unless you're more of a phone enthusiast. So um Brian, carriers can EAD. Yeah, they can. They really can. And again, I just do not care what carriers carry what phones. Like, whatever. I mean, I like to see. I like knowing that T-Mobile supported OnePlus, right? And it looks like Verizon's going to support them too. I don't know if T-Mobile will still do that. So it does give them exposure, right? Especially for people who never knew what a OnePlus phone was. And I'm one of those guys that talks to people about OnePlus phones and they're like, what's that? And so to kind of see a carrier carrying that phone, it's like, yeah, see what I was talking about. Now this carrier, but I don't care. Like, it's whatever. So yeah, Verizon says that, or there was a little blurb here, and then a couple other articles were picking up on this story, or other couple like media outlets or whatever. CNET was saying it too. Android Central. So, and they were all picking up from Android Police's story, but there you go. I mean, we can't really, there's not much to go over that. Verizon, somebody said that Verizon might not sell Google Pixel phones in the future, and now Verizon is refuting that, saying no, we're still going to sell them because whatever. Google's going to give us money to market their shit. And again, like, let me go off on a small rant here, but I, I said this the other day, buy the phone that you can afford. Don't do these like monthly plans. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like old school and just, but I just believe that if you cannot afford a phone today, right? If you haven't saved your money for it, or you just can't afford it, just don't do the 2 year plan, man. Like, you're gonna break, if you break your phone in 3 months and then you're still I just buy what you can afford. You don't need to do another monthly plan of, I don't know. Who am I to talk, right? Like, don't let me tell you what to do with your money. I'm going to sit here and tell you to send me super chats, right? So, like, support me on Patreon, but like, yeah, that's just how I feel. I just don't like the whole, I just think it's a predatory thing. to get people to like pay monthly payments, so you're stuck with them for X number of years. If your phone breaks, then they don't care, whatever. Just and like I don't support these carriers anyway, because their accessories are so overpriced. Yeah, I know companies have to make profits. All these greedy companies have whatever. But yeah, and I'm really not for carriers because they end up putting bloat on your phone. You know, just buy them unlocked, get them from the direct manufacturer or wherever you can get an unlocked phone, so it doesn't have extra bloatware on it. It doesn't have extra shit you don't need from a carrier. Not only that, but when a carrier puts their stuff on it, most times it's going to take a while for your phone to get updated. Like, so when Samsung releases a new update for its phone, and if you have a Verizon phone that has bloatware on it, you're going to have to wait a little longer most times to get that update.